I want to ask you about one here, Blake, for the punters that might be playing UPC Showdown this weekend and might not want to take $1.50 about Orchestral. Number 7 for the Cameron Crockett Barn, Dances with Hooves.
Yeah.
I thought she was not a bad little win last start at Newcastle. It was a much lesser race, but I thought the second horse, About a Girl for Chris Waller in those Aussie Kerr colours, I thought if that horse was here, she'd be about a 20-1 chance just for the fact that it would probably be Waller and someone, and you're getting 126 to 1.
Well, she was 200 to 1 into $126. So I thought she was outstanding when she won at Tamworth, and that was in a Class 1, and then she stepped to the provincial grade, and she was a bit soft in the market there. I black booked her from that Tamworth run and sort of thought anywhere she goes next time I want to back her, but then I wasn't with her there because she was well found in the market. But she did a good job.
Yep.
Class 1 to benchmark 64 provincial grade. This is definitely a step up in grade. The one at 100 to 1 plus for your UPC Showdown, I thought Piplup was all right.
Yeah, good run.
Like, she only got really into her work late.
Yep.
Her last few strides were good. She's going to run 2,400 metres. This is going to be a true staying test.
Yep.
I think outside of the top 3, or top 4, Autumn Angel was very good last week, but 61 kilos, tough run, back up, that's tough. Yep. So that's the question mark over her. Can she back up 7 days after a tough run with 61 kilos on her back? But I guess the top 4 are streets ahead of the rest, and then you're getting big odds about the rest of them. But if one's going to sneak into a placing, I think maybe Piplup.
Piplup, fair enough. In a word, Orchestral on top, yes, no?
Orchestral on top for me, she's going to be seriously hard to beat. I think if the Australian fillies were going to beat her, they would have beat her in the Vinery. So I think she'll be winning the Oaks. I think she's only better suited here.
I am with you completely there, Blake. We'll move on. Race 7, another staying test, the Sydney Cup, 3,200 metres.
Very even race.
It is, yes. Circle of Fire sort of brings that different form, if you will. What did he win on Saturday? The Chairman's? Is that... I think it is 2,600 metres, one of the big lead-ups. The quick back-up into the Sydney Cup always seems to do wonders. I think even...
He was good there too.
Yeah.
I think he had, I don't know, I'm not going to say top 10 last 200 metres of the meeting, but he might have had like the 14th best last 200 metres of the meeting.
Yeah.
Which is a good effort over 2,600 metres. So, especially when you got really elite sprinters on the day. So,
yes.
So he did a good job there. I was a little bit disappointed in myself. It was a good ride. He was well backed the start before, and then I was just concerned that he was going to get too far back from that wide draw. But he landed in a decent spot, got to the outside, and he was too strong late. So definitely no knock on him.
Is there one that jumps out at you in this field? For me, it's Ash Run, 4th in the Melbourne Cup, 3rd in the Tancred last start. He pulled up 2 out of 5 lane as well in that Tancred. So how do you look at that going into a race like this now? Do you go, well, you've got to add more merit to his run in that Tancred where he did pull up lame? Or is it more of has he pulled up all right, and can I trust him going into this race that he's not going to pull up sore like, say, a Bandy's Boy, for instance, on Saturday? That's
I did notice it. I did notice it in the stewards report. It's concerning for me. I think it's concerning because if he's pulled up 2 out of 5 lame, he potentially misses some work.
Yep, potentially.
Leading in. It's not the ideal. He's only 2 weeks between runs, so I don't know. When do they work him again?
Yep.
I don't know. It's just some type of cloud, and it's not ideal. I think his run was good, and that win in the Pakenham Cup was really good. So, no knock. He's probably the best stayer in the race. I backed Stockman to win a Melbourne Cup, and he didn't have any luck that year. I mean, he was well supported that day, but I'm not sure that he's going as well as he has. I didn't expect Calipore to be here, so I don't know, maybe 3,200 metres is a concern for him, but he did win the Bart Cummings, beating at the Baskin last preparation. Serpentine, the drier the track gets, the better it is for Serpentine, I guess.
Yeah.
The Sydney Cup is sort of just
fallen away
a little bit.
Yeah.
We don't get those
Maybe
elite stayers.
We need to give ballot exemption to the Melbourne Cup, to the Sydney Cup winner, and
I think
strengthen it a bit.
I think if you win the Sydney Cup, you get into the Melbourne Cup.
You would, but
so it just doesn't. I don't. I'm not sure what to do with it, but
I think.
John O'Shea is talking up Athabaskan.
Yeah.
He thinks that he's got a bit of improvement. I don't think we've seen the best of him in Australia. So I'd probably be with him. I think So Dazzling was a good roughing. She was good on the weekend. She was warming up late.
She'll love 3,200.
Yeah, I think she'll eat up 3,200 metres. So Athabaskan, So Dazzling, best roughie. What do you like?
I like Ash Run. I agree that Athabaskan is probably the biggest danger, and I don't know if I can really drop off Military Mission either out of the Tancred. I was keen on him that day. He ran 10th in the Melbourne Cup. He's drawn bad here, and he's got to carry the top weight, and he meets those horses out of the Tancred worse at the weights. But I thought Gay Waterhouse, they'll just keep getting him fit, and he was only third up in that Tancred the other day, so he should have a bit of improvement left in him too.
Fair.
Queen Elizabeth, great race. Race 8 on the program at Randwick, 2,000 metres, weight for age. This race is sort of not in terms of how we look at it, I don't think, but in terms of the quality that we get each year, it's probably starting to challenge the Cox Plate.
This is a great race.
Australia's premier 2,000 metre weight for age race.
Not yet,
but some of the fields...
It has.
Yep.
I feel like the top 3 or 4... because we've had Dubai Honour and Dubai Honour and Enemo last year, Very Elegant and Dabe years previously.
Yep.
But yeah, good field.
Great field. I hope we're talking about this race like we do talk about the Enemo and Dubai Honour and the Very Elegant and the Dabe clash, and I hope it's Via Sistina and Pride of Jenny. And I think the race can sort of set up to be that way, because Pride of Jenny, we know what she's going to do. She's going to be rolling along out in front. It'll be a matter of if Via Sistina can claw her back.
It's interesting because, as we know, Pride of Jenny is going to do her own thing in front, as she did in that All-Star Mile. I think any race over a mile that has Pride of Jenny in it, you can sort of just put a line through Mr. Brightside now, because she just puts him out of his comfort zone, and he's not the same horse when she's around. Setting that tempo over 1,600 metres plus. I think they probably would have learnt a lot from Pride of Jenny last start. They got to 2,000 metres. She set a strong tempo, but she ran it out strong.
She did.
So there's probably more to come, and they can probably up the ante a little bit here.
Yep.
I think if I was a bookmaker, I would be getting stuck into Via Sistina here. I think she's way too short. She's very smart. Market loved her on debut in Australia. But that was a really slowly run race. They zipped home. She ran some of the best closing splits of the day. Yep. This is a completely different setup. Mm-hmm. Pride of Jenny's going to put them all out of their comfort zone. She's going to have to stay in touch. So she's probably going to have to go length faster than she did the other day, and then try to get over Pride of Jenny over the concluding stages. So I think Pride of Jenny's the one. She'll make her own luck in front. She'll set a strong tempo, and she will definitely look the winner at the furlong. It's whether the others can get over the top of them. And I don't think Via Sistina can. I think Pride of Jenny's the one.
Yep, fair enough. I've got a ticket on Via Sistina at the $6, so I'm riding that. Happy. I'm in not a bad position, but I tell you what, I keep knocking Pride of Jenny, or not knocking her, but I keep trying to find a horse to beat her, and say, she won't run the 2,000 metres. But I tell you what, I said to a couple of mates after that run in the Australian Cup, I said, I don't think they can beat her in a Cox Plate around Moonee Valley with those tactics. It's a completely different ball game. She could be just off and gone, so you think-esque come late October. So I'll be very interested to see what she can do in a race like this against... I don't think we've seen her against superstar 2,000 metre horses yet. Okay, sure, Cascadian, nice horse, 9-year-old gelding. Mr. Brightside, maybe not at his best this preparation, like you said, out of his comfort zone behind her. There's new blood here, Via Sistina, even the other year-long mare, Plaster Carousel. She could be the one that could really appreciate the solid tempo, because we know she's probably going to be more suited over a little bit further. So maybe if this race feels a bit more like a 2,200 or a 2,400 metre run, and she really has to get into it.
She'll be strong late.
She'll be strong late.
So
I just don't think Pride of Jenny's been up against quality 2,000 metre horses yet.
No, she hasn't.
So this is going to be her biggest test. I'm excited for it. I've got Via Sistina on top. Just can't get that first up run out of my head. But she's not going to be 3 lengths off the leader at the 200 this time. She could be 6 or 8. She's going to have to be very good. One more Group 1 to get through. Blake, race 9 at Randwick, the Queen of the Turf. This is a race you love.
Yeah, Queen of the Turf.
Amanpour.
One of my best wins of all time on Amanpour.
Did it go
Kieran
to the front?
McAvoy. Straight to the front.
Gay Waterhouse? No.
Yes, Gay. Gay and Kieran.
We're going to get a repeat of that this year.
You think so?
I think so.
Who's going the front?
I think Tropical Squall straight to the front. Not Kieran. I think it's Adam Hieronymus, maybe.
Yeah, could Adam ride?
It is. Apparently he's riding 54 and a half. Oh, no, he's riding half a kilo over at 55, I think. Okay. So, but this is another filly I haven't been fond of, but she keeps pulling my pants down. I think this is the race I'm going to catch her.
Okay. Why?
Well, I just think there's a little bit more left in her. She's had that little gap between runs. So's Zoo Gotcha. We haven't seen her since the Coolmore win either. So, she only got collared by that horse that day. Meets at the same at the weight. So there's obviously a strong case to be made that she can't turn the tables on Zoo Gotcha, but it was only half a length. I just think a little bit less tempo here. Lope along in front, up the ante, and might take a fair bit of running down, I think.
I like a tissue.
Yeah,
I'm pretty keen. So she was too good, too back, getting to a mile. And then last start, she was gap between runs to 2,000 metres into a really fast Australian Cup. She was really well liked by the market. And she just travelled into the race and she just blew out late.
Yeah.
So I think going from a slow race to a fast race, gap between runs, that was against her. Mm-hmm. Now she's been into that fast race. Hopefully we get a fast race here again. Comes back to a mile. She's going to be really strong over a mile. Zoo Gotcha, that would have to be some type of question mark.
Yep.
A mile for her. But I think a tissue, I think she's different gravy. I think she's probably a little bit better than them. Yep. She won this race last year.
She did.
She was a flashing light run. Maybe that was first or second up. And then she drew low, put herself into the race, and she won this race really nice and easily. Yep. So I think $5 is a good price about her.
One bet, 12 races. The Ultimate Punters Challenge. Get more bet for your bet. Here's how. Step 1. Enter the showdown and place your $50 bet. Step 2. Choose quick pick or pick your own runners for the 12 races. Step 3. Follow the leaderboard. Points are earned for winning or even placing in each race. Step 4. Points over the 12 races are added together. The punters who rank the highest at the end of the showdown share the prize pool. Want to switch things up on the back six? Simply rebuy and change your picks. Easy. You can't get more bet than that. The Ultimate Punters Challenge. Get more bet for your bet.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.